Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Big Bill backstage. Hey, man, today we're down at at the Piedmont Park in Atlanta for the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra show. And I want to introduce you to my friend Justin Richardson, who is the Senior Manager of Operations for the Symphony. So he's got a lot of responsibilities. And we're going to kind of find out, first off, what in the heck does a Senior Manager of Operations do?
So I'm responsible for coordinating all aspects when it comes to just interdepartmentals of the orchestra. So we have like our artistic team, we have our library, we have our personnel team, we have our operations team, production, and then we also have ancillary departments like our sales, front of house, yada yada yada.
And you kind of coordinate
all of that together.
Wow.
So I'll set up the schedule. I'll make sure that everybody knows, what time certain teams will be done so that their teams can come in. And just kind of liaise as much as I can between everybody.
So what's it take to get, so first of all, how many musicians come out for this event? Is it the entire symphony?
Yeah, so we have a complement of around 88 musicians, and I think that this performance is about a little bit under 70, probably like 68, 67. And so what happens is that our personnel team coordinates with all of our principal musicians. So like our first chair violin would be able to say, hey, for this program, these musicians should play, and we have like a roster of musicians.
Okay.
But then we also have the personnel team that goes through with each title or principal musician to see about managing their time on stage, because essentially they're all they're managed by the collective bargaining agreement, which is like their union contract.
Gotcha.
Because they're all just union musicians essentially. And so personnel would be the one to kind of manage their time on stage and what all it takes. Like we have certain rules, like the temperature has to be consistent.
And that's something we've gone through today. The temperature out here is, although it's late April in Atlanta, it's been kind of cold
chilly,
today, and we've had to take measures to make sure that they've got heat on stage and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's a little different from just a regular concert. What does it take to get 70 musicians in one place at the same time?
It takes a lot. It takes, as you've seen, it takes 3 or 4 days of just getting the stage up. And you have to have our production crew that gets all of their instruments from, like our cellos, basses, timpani, all of that stuff. It has to be transported over. But essentially, like our library, they kind of get the first kind of information that'll say, okay, what songs are we playing? How long is the program? Because even the duration of the program has to be monitored. A classical concert can't go over 2.5 hours.
No kidding. So I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's like all of that stuff has to be factored in. And then after library kind of has that initial information, they'll pass that on to the personnel team so they can do the actual hiring.
Yeah.
And so, even between one concert, if you're playing 3 different works, that first work and that second work can have different musicians. So you have to coordinate who's going to be doing whatever. So they got to manage like personal schedules, time off, people on vacation. They're a whole team.
And how many of these outdoor events does the Symphony do every year?
So the Piedmont Park concert, they've been doing once a year for I think 70 years is what we've been doing. Yeah, no, 70.
70?
Yeah, we've been doing. The orchestra's been around for 80 years.
Yeah. I'll tell you a little tidbit. 30 years ago, when I started in this business, I started right here building a stage
that's awesome.
for the Symphony in this same place.
That's wild. Well,
me and Dave Bath.
Who's
the Symphony sound guy for 30 years.
Yeah, right.
I kind of started my career doing
awesome.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So what's your next event coming up? What do you guys?
The next one that we're doing is we're doing Star Wars and more. So all the music of John Williams. So Jurassic Park, Star Wars, Indiana Jones. That'll be at Ameris Bank Amphitheater.
Okay.
I think it's May 16th.
Yeah.
I want to say. But yeah, we're doing that. Outdoor shows like this is the only one we do every year, unless we do like Ameris Bank.
Yeah. I know one year back then we did 4. I know it's not my interview, but we did 4 throughout the summer around town. We'd go to different parks, different places, and build them.
Yeah, they're starting to get that back going. I think we're talking to the city of Atlanta to kind of like get a partnership going to where like we have, it's not just the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra. We have a chorus, which is 200 singers. And then we also have the Atlanta Youth Symphony Orchestra. And then separate from that, we have the talent development program, And then we also have chamber ensembles. So we're working with the city to try and get either some of those smaller ensembles throughout the city, kind of like this
Yeah.
too. So yeah, just getting some exposure for everybody.
Cool.
Essentially.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, Justin, man, I appreciate your
Yeah, man,
time.
ain't no thing,
Thank you
dude.
so much. I
Yeah,
learned a
same
little
here.
bit.
Yeah.
I hope you all learned something. And hey, go to our YouTube page, our YouTube channel. It's Big Bill Backstage. It's easy to find. You'll see all of my videos and my reels, my interviews, and that sort of thing. We thank you for spending time with us. This is Big Bill Backstage, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, y'all.